Thomas, thank you very much for your keynote today. I have 5 questions I would like to ask you. Could you tell me your thoughts on innovative public management practices in a nutshell?
The government context is specific concerning innovation because by design it's bureaucratic and it's incremental in its approach to change. So for those who innovate, these characteristics make it more difficult and are impediment actually to creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship. But to others, this more deliberate and incremental approach to change is supposed to balance brush behavior and hasty decision making that can have negative consequences. I know that innovation in the public sector and in general is generally considered a positive aspect, but in government there needs to be a balance between innovation and rules. And particularly in the low capacity state context, in countries with characterized by high corruption, it's actually important to have more rules and less innovation rather than less rules and more innovation.
What does innovation mean to you?
To me, innovation is about creating something new. It can be a service, a process, a work practice, a governance paradigm in a way that creates value. And for us, it's about public value. So public sector innovation will involve service innovation, for example, creating participatory, personalized, anticipatory, context-smart services. It can be about administrative innovation, like designing new ways of developing and delivering public goods and public value. It can be about governance innovation, where we innovate with the approach to governance and enter into participatory, open, data-smart governance, or perhaps public-private people partnerships.
Could you name a good practice in public management?
Yeah, to me, a really good practice is collaboration between government and academia, particularly public universities co-located with relevant government agencies. In this partnership, government can access expertise, research, training, and policy advice that is relevant to the local or national context. In this context also, I would expect academia being treated not as consulting party, but as a partner with a stake in the outcome of the results, not only getting paid, but being actually actively engaged in the success of the whole initiative. So to me, this type of practice is also means that government should be willing to invest in capacity and institutional building of its academic partners in the areas where its current interests are located.
Could you name a bad practice in public management, so the opposite?
Yes, in the area of digital government, I think a really bad practice would be to let policy and strategic decisions concerning digital government be driven by the desire to raise rankings, to raise the position of our country or city in the international ranking, so like the United Nations e-government survey, rather than consider the real needs and policy priorities of the country. So I would consider this a really bad decision when digital government is considered to be a political process to gain by the policy or political authorities to gain more international prestige and recognition rather than to address the actual needs on the ground.
What do you think will we be discussing at the conference in 2028?
Wow, that's a long time horizon. Probably too much for me. I'm not a futurist. But if you would ask me about like 2-3 years horizon, I think it's a safe bet to say that we will be talking a lot more about negative aspects of digitization and researching how we can actually not only avoid but tackle and manage the risks of digitization process. I will also expect that we will not be working so much in silos of public, private and voluntary sector or governance, society and business, but that this in the digital space, these different spheres will be interconnected. I would also expect that within a couple of years, we will be expecting more and more digital government to deliver policy outcomes. Not only deliver better public services or better improvements in public administration, but to actually deliver outcomes in health, in education, in security, in economy, to fulfill the development priorities of the country.
Tomasz, thank you very much for answering my questions.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.